In this video we're taking our first look at these, the brand new New Balance 1080 version 11. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to 40 Runs. How are we doing, people? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, tell me, did you have version 10 of this shoe? Or maybe you've already picked up version 11. Let me know in the comments what you think about the shoe, and I'll check them out once this video drops. Oh, and while you're down there, don't forget to go to the description and click on the link that says the 40 Runs running community and join our Facebook running community. Right, so the 1080 version 11, is it any good? Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you my first impressions, so let's get stuck in. Okay people, so here it is, version 11. Let me know in the comments, what do you think on how it looks? Have they improved the look of it? I think it looks pretty awesome. I particularly like the sort of black coal, titanium, Terminator look, what they've sprayed onto the midsole. I think it looks awesome in the black. There's some other colours that dropped, but I don't know, I like the sort of way they sort of sprayed the midsole in the black. Let me know in the comments. Let's do the stats and features first before we get on to how it feels and all that sort of stuff. Right, so don't tell her, but Mrs. Fordy's scales are up here again, and this shoe weighs in at 9.9 ounces in a UK 9.5. Now what's that in grams? I wrote it down somewhere. 279 grams. This shoe is 135 pounds here in the UK. Don't pay over 200 pounds for it. It's 135 pounds here in the UK. We've got fresh foam X in the midsole. We've got like, what's the best way to describe it? Synthetic mesh upper. It's actually a stretch upper. I'll show you that in a second. What else have we got? 8mm drop in the shoe. Booty construction. Gusseted tongue. What else? That's probably about it actually. Oh, you've got the Ultra heel technology, whatever they call it, that hugs the back of your foot for a snug, supportive feel. So that's this bit here, around here. Now, in version 10, I didn't really care much for it because this round here really felt like cardboardy and stiff and actually quite uncomfortable at times. And the fresh foam wasn't really doing anything for me. But this version, when they've mainly updated the upper, by the way, and we'll get into that in a little bit more detail in a sec, this definitely feels less sort of, not in your face, but you know what I mean, like around your ankle, you don't feel it as much. So I think they've improved that. They might not have done, maybe it's my imagination, but it definitely feels softer to touch and more comfortable around the ankle. I do have concerns, if you've got quite a big foot, I don't know how your ankle would get on in here. Let me know if you've got a wide foot or a big ankle, whether that would be restrictive for you. Maybe that's something to think about. In terms of fit, usually, and I'm quite proud of saying this, New Balance are on the money in terms of fit, but this one's come up a little bit funny. I think because of the upper, it's a stretch upper, what they've updated on the shoe. There's a few points that we need to discuss. If you look at the, see what I mean about stretched upper, right? So this is like a micro knit stretch upper that they've done. You can see hopefully my finger running through it. But what they've got around the sides is like a bit of structure to the upper. See this, where they've added this? Now what that means is as your foot hits that, it's actually stiff around here. And it's almost like, not cardboardy, but it's quite stiff around the edge. So if you've got a wider foot than this allows, you will get elements, not of rubbing, but you're going to notice it. I tell you when I noticed it, when I did a tempo run in this shoe, I was running obviously more to the forefoot and my foot was pushing down. I really noticed where my foot was sort of moving out, I could feel the rigidity around this front bumper here. So it's something to be aware of. I mean, this is UK 9.5 for me. When I'm running easy, I don't really really notice it that much. But it did kind of get me thinking, because I say New Balance are on the money in terms of fit. So just be aware, it's the way they've sort of added like structure around the edge. I say it's just a bit of a funny thing. Again, look, see? And then you sort of hit it there. Just be aware of it. Maybe order half a size up and get both, because I know we haven't ordered everything online. So maybe get both the sizes and try it out and see how it fits. It's fine across the midfoot. They've retained again the overall sort of booty construction from the predecessor. You've got the New Balance 3D overlays. What else? Ah, Fresh Foam X. So the Fresh Foam X on this shoe is definitely a softer feeling Fresh Foam. It's not like a fuel cell, but it's definitely a softer feel on this version than the previous version for me. It definitely felt softer. Outsole, before we get on to how it feels and stuff like that. So you can see they've got like this blown bits of rubber around it. You've got the exposed Fresh Foam X here, and then you've got, say, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of exposed blown rubber added for traction. And you know what, it's doing a good job. It's been raining here in the UK. Like, I think I've said it in about 5 of the last videos. It's just been raining since January. And these guys have done a good job out in the rain. You can, well, no, you won't, but there's like miniature little grooves in each of these sort of knobbles, whatever you call them, which are giving you extra traction. And I ran these along, actually one of the runs I did was along the Lee Valley, which is kind of, it's not, it's more multi-terrain. There was elements of grass, there was elements of sort of track-ish, not track as in running track, but like towpath-ish kind of stuff. So and it was like mucky as hell, and these guys held up down in that part as well. I couldn't get these down the towpath because the towpath's flooded, but that was the best I could do in terms of getting them a little bit sort of rough and ready out there. I think that's the stats and the features and everything that's going on. I'd say the main update to this shoe is really on the upper versus the previous version. So yeah, let's get into how it feels. Right, so how does this bad boy feel when you're out there? So in terms of paces, I think for me this works best in that sort of, and it's going to be pretty obvious in those sort of easy recovery run paces. It's definitely with the cushioning, it's a super nice place to be. It's, you know, it's very forgiving, it's easy on your legs and all that sort of stuff. When you pick up the pace, it's all right. It was more responsive than I was expecting, considering how sort of soft the ride is. But as soon as I got into that sort of threshold pace, it kind of lost its edge, which you'd expect, because this is a daily trainer. This is a high cushioned daily trainer, right? And you know, that's not probably where it's meant to go. But I did push it up into that area, and as I was expecting, it was like kind of like, I don't know, just a bit. It just felt like I was running in sand, you know, and it's that because of that extra cushioning and whatnot. Again, this is not the shoe's fault. This is not what it's designed for. But as a daily trainer, you should try and be able to do everything. And you know what? A sort of goal pace, but you know, maybe going towards that threshold pace, it definitely picked up a little bit, and I was quite pleased with that. The only thing, like I said before, when I got a bit more onto my toes, I did feel that on the outside of the shoe. But it was responsive enough. But yeah, obviously this shoe is meant for those sort of, I think, for those easy days, recovery run days, even into your long runs. I don't know personally whether, you know, over 20 miles, whether this is going to be doing you a huge amount of favours. I think it may be too soft for me. I do prefer a firmer ride, so I don't know, over 20 miles I think this may be that little bit too soft. But I think if you like a soft ride, if you like a lot of cushioning, you're going to be digging this. Yeah, and we'll see. I'm going to be putting it into those sort of longer runs now. I'm marathon training and I'm, you know, hitting 20 miles in my long runs again. I will take this out and we will come back and we'll do the performance review. So this is only just the first impressions. And I'll let you know, I'll stick it on there and see how I got on with it. But yeah, I have concerns about doing those really high miles in it because of the softness. I just prefer that little bit firmer of a ride. That's just me. But yeah, I think, yeah, if you like a soft ride, this is probably a good comparison against the Clifton 7, which is a high stack shoe. Out of the two, I think the Clifton 7 just edges it for me, personally. I really feel in the sort of, where is it? I still feel like this is, for me, a more natural fit, better way of describing it, less stack. It's still a soft ride, but it's just that little less sort of height in there. I don't know. I'm going to do a comparison video, I think, of these two, but I don't know. I slightly prefer that at the moment. Oh, just dropped it. But yeah, I think the best way to conclude it, and we'll get there in the end, people, is if you liked version 10, you're going to dig it. I think though, if you've got version 10 and you really like version 10, grab version 10 now while it's cheap instead of getting these. So, you know, get the cheaper version, because there's not much difference except for the upper. So just grab version 10 personally while you can get it cheap. We're always after value on 40 runs. And then once that sells out, then get it. If you're, you know, looking for the latest version, then sure, you know, you are going to like it. They haven't changed too much. Like I say, the only concern for me is on the upper. It just comes down to, like everything, personal choice. It's whether you like that really soft ride on your sort of daily trainers. That's what it comes down to. There's nothing wrong with this shoe. It's a good update to what they had previously, except for that maybe those issues around the side. So yeah, personally I'd point you out to the old version. Just grab it while it's cheap, and then once they're sold out, then if you're still digging it, then grab these.